Hey, did you make a YouTube? Did you do a YouTube yet?
Yeah, it's live.
Okay. You didn't update my picture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, yo. It is Tusk Talk Fridays. Let's tell Walter to calm it down here. Hold on, there we go. All right, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining in. It looks like we've got a pretty good amount of viewers right now, and we should, because there's a lot to talk about. So hopefully everybody is geared up and ready for another hour-long session with me and Top Gun to talk about Frozen Walrus, Glacier, Walrus Anglers Club. Yeah, a lot of exciting information, a lot of good news happening in the Frozen Walrus ecosystem. And a lot of fun things to talk about. So if you have a question, just know that the best question tonight is going to win an NFT, Walrus Anglers Club NFT. You can do it via YouTube chat or via Discord chat. Doesn't matter. Just throw a question in there that you want an answer to, or think of a question that could finally stump me. I think there's only been one question in all of 27 plus Ask Me Anythings that I've done that has actually truly stumped me. But that's always good. I like to be stumped because that makes me think twice about what I'm doing and making sure that I'm producing the best stuff. So let's talk about Frozen Walrus website. I am obviously extremely excited to talk about the Frozen Walrus website. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I think that it took a lot of work and effort, but to see that design finally come alive and allow you all to interact with it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so happy. I think it looks so clean, and it is truly one of a kind in the Toon Fork scene, which was very important for me. that I really wanted a UX feature that really made people say, I want to engage with this website. I want to put my money in this website. And if you compare it to other Tune Forks that may be using the same design aspect as the old Tune Fork model, you can just see how better it's presented. Like all of the information is right there. What you want to interact with is right in your face, and everything that I could ever dreamed of is right there on the website. And so obviously I'm big on websites and front ends. I think it's awesome that I can make a better experience for you all. It's super fast. We're doing some other optimization. LB is helping me with the TVL and a couple other things to make it a little bit more efficient and optimized. And yeah, so there's some more things coming on the website. So if you like what you have now, buckle in because we'll be adding some more features here soon. Let's see, what else do we have? Through the website, you can go to the NFTs. You have the compound, the lottery, nodes, farms, and boardrooms. So just a ton of cool features. It really looks slick, and we'll be adding a new feature, which I'm going to say right now is our merch store that is actually up and live, and we may share that here live tonight.
Oh shit, is it happening?
Because like everything's ready.
Yeah, this is news to me too. I'm hyped for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have the merch store. It's ready. You can interact with it, go on the website, purchase anything you want. I haven't added a link, but it's a link that is already live right now. You can type it into your web browser. So if you guys want that, let me know. If you guys want to check out some of the merch, we are adding some extra merch, which is why I hung back a little bit on releasing it. But I think it's cool that we have enough information on there right now. You can already purchase a wide variety of items with Frozen Walrus on there. We're going to add some extra Walrus radios on there and some Walrus Angler Club. So those are coming very soon. I do want to get some like seasonal merch. So like actual seasonal colors of fall and winter for Frozen Walrus. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's announce that, I guess. You can actually go, and I won't even announce it yet, so you guys can get first peek if you actually take the time out of your day and come into the Ask Me Anything. I appreciate it. The website is shop.frozenwalrus.finance. Shop.frozenwalrus.finance. So we can type that into the AMA chat and give people a direct link.
Yeah, I got it.
So go ahead, check it out. Tell me what you think. I just put it together, so it's pretty cool. You can purchase whatever you want. If you don't, you don't, but it's there. I know it's been requested for a very long time, so I'm happy to get that out. Is the shop taking payment in Walrus, or are the proceeds being used to buy Walrus? So far, the proceeds are going to me because the overhead, I looked at LB's merch store, and the overhead is almost $-. So likely I won't be making any money off of this. It would just be for you all as users to purchase some Frozen Walrus. So yeah. No, there's no dildos. But yeah, check it out. We're going to be adding probably 3 or 4 new items, some crew necks, a couple other like gimme items that you can purchase. But
Ace wants to know if we can get a exclamation merch command.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I put
like that a
the website up together. I tried to put the same colors as our current theme website. We'll add that to the site where you can actually just click merch or shop, and you'll click it and it'll go there. And hopefully, you guys, yeah. So there is a Frozen Walrus gamer mouse pad. If anybody is willing enough to buy that, good for you.
It's a good price. $15 is competitive.
So those are all print on demand via Printify. So all of those we don't have stock of them. They print it on demand and ship it to you. And we priced it pretty much as low as we could, making very little profit. But yeah, so if you all are listening, then you all got the first approach at the website. So let me know if you think of anything that we can add, and Dylan will get on it. But we've already talked about some extra stuff. So website, merch store, what else do we have today? Glacier is going absolutely phenomenal. I actually am in the final stages of getting someone that I wanted on the lead development team that I talked to today that was very excited, and this guy can really build. And I'm actually extremely happy because that's really the missing piece that we had is a confirmed good, like perfectly dev that could take on the entire task of building out the entire ecosystem. And I think we found that, and I really am very comfortable with him. So I'm very excited that we can move on with the process of Glacier. We also have some big meetings coming up with some big potential clientele about VC, and not just VC, but just being integrated in AVAX as an ecosystem, and the people that are involved with doing that. So I'll be getting in front of some people that are important in the space and trying to pitch how much the balancer tech is needed on AVAX and what we plan to do a little bit different. We do have our pitch deck ready for the VCs. I've already reached out to some VCs. And if you are interested, of course, reach out to me. Remember, the minimum is like $25K, and I put that for a reason. It is a high bar for entry, but what you get in return is pretty good. I think it's excellent, actually, but it does come with a risk. You know, you're buying into a startup, and so with that, there is risk, and I need people that are putting up capital that they understand that the return is not like DeFi degen where you're getting 10% a day or something. But yeah, so there's that. Walrus Anglers Club hit 1,000 mints.
We did it.
We hit 1,000 mints, and we really scooted over that number quite fast.
I think it's like 80 today. 80 since last night.
Yeah, we went really fast on that. And I know that everybody's waiting for a reveal. Understand that we are revealing likely tomorrow. All of the files are uploaded. I just have to interchange the JSON file. But we wanted to get a giveaway going with like $1,000 to $2,000 of actual like $100 or like $100 giveaways. Maybe we give out $20, $100 or something to give people back their mint price and really help do some giveaways with the community for getting us to this point. And I had mentioned in my announcement yesterday, hey, look, I know that 1,000 mints in this market that's $100,000. It's already excellent, but to think about it being done in 1 month, again, I talked to Hydro Wells and they were like, "Dude, you're doing fine." It took us 3 months to get to our first 1,000 mints, and then the next after that was just like a snowball effect, which is awesome to hear. Right, I'm very excited to hear that, and I haven't even tapped into really using Hydro Wells' network of their community and the people that want to get involved there. So there's still a lot of stuff to be done with Walrus Anglers Club. Hopefully we can start purchasing some more KA3s very soon. But everything's going really excellent on that end as well. So the Frozen Walrus ecosystem's looking up, including X Walrus. Where is X Walrus right now? I think we are at total 48.1% of the total supply of Walrus has been converted into X Walrus. 788,000 Walrus, and that is almost over 200,000 burned. That is absolutely phenomenal. Again, we started at this process with like 1.7, almost 1.8 million Walrus in circulation. Now, 200,000 of those are gone permanently. And another probably 400,000 are bottlenecked into a supply contract that trickles out to W shareholders. So it's an absolutely phenomenal thing to see. I'm very excited about it, and I think that we will start seeing that really build up towards the end of Glacier or towards the launch of Glacier. When Glacier comes out, I think that the demand will be given back. And I think we're going to have some really cool features with allowing X Walrus to be tradable, some different types of core pools for you all to use. And I think that there's going to be a lot of synergies there. So a couple ideas that, well, maybe let me talk about how to transition into this. But yeah, obviously, the Centaurs model is really struggling in the bear market. I actually want to do something about it via our tokenomics. And there's a lot of discussion I'm having with Owen and other people. Realistically, what I'd love to do is turn off the printer for W share completely and only allow 30,000 to be minted. I think that would be cool. Obviously, they would be a much more lucrative price point. But at that point, we have to have incentive structures lined up correctly. And allow users to do different things with the tokens. But I want them to be utility tokens, and I want them to be able to be used in different ecosystems and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things to go in the back end of that. But I just wanted to mention it here live, that it is something I'm looking at. I want to get out of the degen approach with Frozen Walrus and how you engage with the website. and what you do as a user with these tokens. Walrus Share and Walrus and Narwhal and all of these tokens. What's our next stage? What's our next steps with Glacier and owning our own liquidity? What can we do? Let's get experimental. This is an experimental product. What can we do to drive heavy demand to these tokens? And really, we have our blue chip to back up, to have a backup of Glacier, where we have a little bit more control of the tokenomic structure of like how users interact and sell their tokens or buy their tokens via burns and other mechanics. But what can we do on actual Frozen Walrus and changing the mechanics around where it's still at its core a Cineworks model where Walrus Share will still print Walrus and Narwhal to some capacity, but stopping with the emissions of Walrus Share, how do we incentivize that liquidity? So those are some of the things that I'm thinking about. Just figured I'd bring it up to you all. If you have suggestions, for sure, bring them up to me. I would love to hear it. But yeah, that's kind of where my head's at. But let me stop for a second. We're 17 minutes in, and I did the thing where I talked a bunch of shit.
You sure did.
And I didn't take any questions. So let's pause it for a second. Dylan, do you have any questions?
I got a couple. Wrong Lover wants to know, can you go into detail as to how the worst case scenario on the NFT can go with the miners and how that 30% happens and how it is that there could be an even worse case than that, but really what percent likelihood is worst case to even happen?
What's the 30% coming from, Wrong Lover? I don't know if he's in here, but
he is. Let me see here.
I don't know what that number means. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'll speak about the worst case scenarios in my eyes, and obviously, I don't know everything logistically, but I can approach it with just like as a normal investor, what do I see as potential risk? Potential risk would be that the miners, the KA3 miners, are delayed a little bit on their order, which is very normal for these products to be delayed. Most of the people that we've had contact with that are in this space think that they are going to get the KA3s out on time, but again, it's a world full of promises, and not every time is it delivered. So that's one potential risk, which would mean the returns would be delayed. Another one would be that the difficulty ramps up, but we have modeled out in our profitability what it looks like if we see that, right? If we see a difficulty spike, what are you going to return with? So I'm happy to have that, so you can actually see some of the potential worst case scenarios. But to me, those are the two big drastic things: is that there's less profit on the table, or it takes us a little while longer to get the KA3s that we've ordered. That's it for me.
All right. Maybe he can elaborate on what that 30% he's talking about. Tampa, have you thought about making X Walrus liquid again with Glacier? Will do in terms of Walrus price. Do you think it will cause a huge sell-off with Walrus? And if it will, what's your response to it?
So the cool thing about Balancer Tech, and this is one of the things that, of course, I'd have to model out and talk with Owen about, but one of the cool things that I think about is that what if we gave X Walrus Walrus pool and we did different weighting structures on it so that there's not enough Walrus in there to tank it below the Walrus price? So we let it pair with Walrus, so X Walrus Walrus pool, but we put it and we make it in a way that you can never sell enough X Walrus where there would be where X Walrus would be cheaper than Walrus, because we don't have to go with a 50-50 pool anymore. So it would be cool to work out the math of like what we could see with that, of how we can make sure that X Walrus always retains a higher value and it can always catch up to the mint price via arbitrage. So that's one of the ways that I want to go liquid with it. Maybe even have an X Walrus USDC pool with the correct weighting. But there's a lot of things we can play with the Balancer Tech in general that allows X Walrus to become safely liquid to the most degree that anything can be safe in DeFi. We also can add burn mechanics, so buy and sell taxes that go back into solidifying X Walrus's price over Walrus. But all of those things have to be known beforehand, or at least modeled out to some extent. So yes, I do plan on working that out so that we can have it.
See that response from Wrong Lever? You guys have that spreadsheet to show scenarios on how the miners can go, and there are a couple of different scenarios. The bear scenario has like a 30% APR.
Yeah, I think it. Okay, so let me pull up the doc from Citizen real quick. because I don't have it handy right now. But he actually explains. There's an actual document that I use that's a little bit more extensive than the white paper one about those. Let me check it out real quick, and I'll tell you what the 30% entails and how we would get there. Here we go. I got it pulling up. So the bearish price action means that KDA would go down, difficulty stays the same, and the NFT cost, of course, stays at the 100. What that means is pretty much KDA goes down in price. That would be the worst case scenario. If the bear trend were to continue, KDA were to continue to slide under the current price point, which is what we've gauged on everything. So if we see Kadena fall short, obviously that's another risk that I should have talked about, is Kadena could fall short here and go lower than we currently price it at. But honestly, we do see it in a bullish scenario going up. That's really where you're seeing that the APRs come from. The 30% APRs is because of Kadena's price decrease. And so that's where it would get to. Nothing else really changes on that scenario other than us only having 11K A3s. And again, these are all priced out with 11K A3s. We have not purchased any more, but we are going to, possibly within the same 2,500 mints that we have right now. So, these numbers could go up, if anything, or down. But I'm just saying we are looking to purchase more KA3 miners during the Phase 1 mint. 11 KA3s is not our only goal during Phase 1.
All right. Not So Savvy wants to know, what question got you stumped and what did you learn from it? That was a long time ago.
Say it again.
What question got you stumped and what did you learn from it?
Somebody asked me, I can't remember his name, Star something, asked me the kind of approach we take in development here at Frozen Walrus. Was it, and Hazy and a bunch of other people knew what it meant. It was some term that I had never heard because obviously this isn't my industry, or, tech isn't my industry. They had asked, like, what kind of business flow or what kind of workflow do we use?
Yeah, I remember that.
And I didn't know the answer to it. I didn't know the answer because I didn't work in that term. I didn't work in those terminologies. But someone made it clear what we actually do use, and they knew it because they understood the term. But I did not. So full disclosure: if I don't know something, I just say it. I don't need to act smarter than I am. So if I didn't know the term, I just didn't know the term.
I remember that.
I can't remember the exact terminology that was used. Maybe one of the
Was it agile development?
I can't remember. I really don't remember much of the question, although I just knew that I didn't know it. And I was like sweating bullets. I was like, holy shit, do I finally look dumb? There are people finally finding out that I'm actually stupid. But yeah, it was a weird one.
All right. Is it true you're good friends with LB from Great Finance?
Yeah, you better fucking believe it. He says it. He said it in our podcast, so nobody can deny that from me. He said we are good friends.
It's from Disco Chuck. He definitely knows that.
Yeah.
All right. Got any ideas to share for post Glacier? Like, where do we go after the big launch?
That's the thing, is really anywhere. Obviously liquidity migration, and then once liquidity migration, we work with different pools and different protocols, and there's a little bit of new additions that I want to add with Walrus, but realistically, what you'll see is hopefully us pivoting to a new direction that uses the same Sonora's model, but in a way that works in a bear market, but also can complement a bull market where we to get there as well. So that's really my focus.
Maybe we can get back to gaming.
Gaming would be awesome. I would love to.
That's been the goal the whole time, guys. The balancer is just another way to get us to developing games. We tricked all of you. Saint, how much W share is minted currently?
Let me check. 30,818.
30,000.
I think
818.
I think at least what's known, and I use different numbers because I know some other people that are holding that aren't going to sell, and I also know like some myself personally, and some of the other holdings in the team, I know we have to at least own over 10,000 of that. So
I think I counted almost 11 this morning, but I didn't look everywhere.
shout out to
All right.
Taz that's in the chat for setting up. If you guys didn't know, Taz, right there that just typed in AMA chat, was actually who developed the website via the Figma file that I gave him. And he's been absolutely phenomenal in helping me out. I've been giving him, hey, this is messed up, and he's like on it within a second. It was a pleasure to work with him. So thank you, Taz, for the help with the website. I think everybody's loving it.
We're up to 31 in here. Saint also wants to know, is there anything in store like X Narwhal? Couldn't it meet the same goal as X Walrus? John Teeter also had the same question.
Yeah, I'd love to have. I'd love to be able to have a X Narwhal X Walrus pool, but really we have to think before I commit to that, right? Because Narwhal doesn't have a supply issue. I promise you, we have like 90,000 Narwhal in the treasury alone. Narwhal is not a supply issue. It's because Walrus is lagging, and because there's no demand for Walrus, people are like, oh, I better stop holding Narwhal as well, which is a bit false in my head. But people are going to do what they do. But Narwhal, I think honestly, if X Narwhal came out, people would be surprised with as long as it's receptive to the same scale. At 50%, I'll just put it like this: if the Treasury minted no X Narwhal, right, and the users ended up committing 50% Narwhal to X Narwhal, there would be 0% supply in circulating supply because we own 50% of it. That's just a fact.
Over 50.
So it's not in the, but also to my point is that I have to think in a longer scale of what is X Narwhal and X Walrus really bring to the ecosystem, and what can we do with it? And so I'm thinking about that for X Walrus. Like, what can we do with X Walrus? Do we LP it? Do we do something fun with it? Is there a game situation for it? What do you do with those tokens before I introduce another token to the ecosystem? I have to really get to my P's and Q's about what is X Walrus and what does it mean for the ecosystem. Right now, it's an amazing yielding opportunity that in turn also increases people's walrus bags by intrinsic value of having less walrus on the market. That's what it is currently. But what can we do with it, right? So that's one of the things.
All right. Will X Walrus have added utility eventually?
Yes, of course. That's the goal. Is that, and again, to my point of what I was saying, is that I want something more for X Walrus, and I just have to think about what it is. Obviously, we're in a stage where we can really get kind of crazy with our experimental stuff. So I want to experiment with X Walrus and see where we can take it.
All right. Not so savvy. If your son was at the age that he gets into crypto, what would be your advice to him?
That's a good question. If my son, when he gets to age, right?
Yeah.
He will be involved in crypto if not developing in it. Hopefully if he chooses that path. Obviously, I would love to teach him the ins and outs. But I think that the great thing about DeFi is that you're looking at the grand scheme of finance in a very easy to view. You're getting a snippet of the entire economy in a very small snippet. So you learn a lot of tactics that's used in grand finance in all of the world, but you find it being localized here in all these DeFi projects. And I think one of the greatest benefits to a user, even like myself, is that I've learned a ton about normal, just daily finance from my engagement with DeFi. And so if my son were to get into DeFi, I think that that's one of the greatest values he could get from it. And one of the things that I would approach him with from the get-go is that this is not just, fun and engaging and potentially profitable, but you actually are learning about things that isn't taught anywhere. Nobody in America gets taught finances. I didn't know anything about a mortgage or refinancing my home or what it meant to take out a second mortgage or any of that. I had to learn it all myself. And I'm not saying you learn that from DeFi, but I'm saying you learn aspects of finance that you don't normally come in contact with via like schooling. So I think it's one of those really cool features of DeFi that's an unintended effect, but also is extremely beneficial.
All right. A couple people on the YouTube were wondering if we could change the font to the on the video that has the comments on it. If we could change that to like a translucent black or a black color to make it a little bit easier to read.
Yeah, let me see if I can do it real quick. What's going on? Oh, there we go. Background color. No. Let's see. Does it have where I can change the color? Font settings, text color. Here we go. And let's increase the font size. Let's see if I can do it here live on air. All right, somebody type some shit in YouTube. No, it's just not viewing at all. Killed it.
What? Oh, you nuked it.
I nuked it. No, it should be good. Anyway, we'll get that up soon enough. But I did edit it, but it doesn't look like it's working right now. Let's do this. All right, so hopefully it comes up, but I did change the text to black. What other questions we got?
That is all the questions I have currently.
There we go. I got it. It's black now.
Oh, shit. Does anybody, GDB, you want to come up and ask a question? You haven't been up here in forever. Is he even in here? He was earlier. Can you run through the reason for changing hosting for Kadena?
Yeah, so to be honest, what we were doing was more of a own it yourself approach, right? But the scalability was not there. And the reason I say that is because if we bought a new lease, we were paying up to $13,000 for the year. And we were going to have to pay that as a recurring fee each year to refinance, or not refinance, but to redo that lease. With these, it's a one-time fee, 0.09 kilowatts per hour paid for the miners. And realistically, they can host to scale any amount of KA3s that we want to provide them. And by doing that, we took a ton of overhead off of our backs. And if we honestly kept with that method of approach, what would have happened is that every single time we bought a new lease, to be efficient, we also had to have the funds to produce the amount of miners needed. So if there was 20 miners that could fit in a lease, we had to make sure we had enough funding for 20 miners plus the lease, which is like, $150,000. So we had to make sure we raised that each time. Now we have 11 KA3s. If we want to scale up another KA3, then we just buy one KA3 and send it to the same farm. There's scalability involved in it that was not available via doing our own.
That was from CryptoCraft 168. This new guy in the Discord asked a question. Let me see. Hazy Key. What will be done with nodes?
We'll be unlocking them, and once we unlock them, you'll be able to move your liquidity over to Glacier, and that's the reason that we are unlocking them.
All right. Oh, we're only 30 minutes into this. Did you have any more news? Oh, yeah. That black text does look a lot better. Thank you, David. Thank you, Tony.
I'm sure, yeah, I can definitely come up with some stuff that we could talk about just in generals. But
have you minted any Walrus Angler clubs for yourself or for the treasury at this stage?
No, I'll probably end up minting some for myself. I'll probably get like 10 to 20 myself. I've just been letting it go right now for my own runway. I'm being as risk adverse as I can be. But obviously, if there's any project I trust, it's my own. So I'll likely be minting a lot of those here in the coming days. But the treasury has not minted any yet, and the reason we're doing that is to secure as many KA3s for the first phase as we can, so that your profits are as high as they can be. So that's why the treasury hasn't taken any mints.
And Rad Dad Kiddaloo, what are you the most bullish on between X Walrus and the WAC NFTs? Do you have a personal favorite?
I love NFTs, and I always wanted to launch an NFT project. So honestly, the Walrus Anglers Club is so cool to me, and I think that these NFTs will be significantly higher in the years to come than they are currently minting right now. I think it's a really good investment. Otherwise, I wouldn't have produced it. And honestly, I'm really happy to do the reveal so that people can get excited about the juicy walruses that they've accrued. So I'm very happy with that. Will there be any anglers that have traits that give you any sort of advantage? No. Nope. It's
There
only
will be
collectors.
rarity
There
traits,
is rarity
but
traits, but they are completely cosmetic, I guess is a good way to put it.
will the Kadena mine be airdropped to our wallet monthly, or will it automate compound for the next 6 months?
So for the next 6 months, we'll be compounding and trying to add extra KA3s. But also, you will not receive Kadena in your wallet because it takes a non-custodial wallet specific to Kadena to actually gain it. And instead of accruing all that, what we're going to do is bridge it over to Ethereum, then bridge it to Avalanche, and get some L1s to airdrop to any holders of Kadena of the Walrus Anglers Club. Holy shit! Citizen just made a Sean just made a cool ass graphic. That's awesome, Sean. If you're listening to the Ask Me Anything, that's so cool. That's such a good graphic.
Ethical hacks. Question for the people who don't convert their walrus into X walrus, if there was a community push to put it in the magic compound auto compounder with USDCE, do you think with enough time that we would repeg walrus?
Who don't convert their walrus into X walruses? If there was a community push to put it in the Magic Auto Compounder with USDC, do you think? Are you referring to Walrus USDC LP getting put into Magic? But yeah, it's an inevitability that we would eventually peg with Magic's auto compounders burning Walrus, and then also less Walrus being in existence. There is gonna be a point where there's not enough supply to meet whatever demand we have in the market, and that's the point we're trying to get to.
All right, Rad Dad Kiddaloo again. How do you see Glacier impacting W share, and where do you see W share price going in general? Buy and hold, or will there be some utility for it?
Hopefully, we're able to introduce some new utilities that you currently don't see or haven't been discussed. But realistically, what I see happening is that I'm still pretty gun ho on allowing an 80-20 pool or a 75-25 pool in Glacier, and allowing that with the Glacier emissions that we dedicate to it to be placed in the Magic Auto Compounder. And then allowing that to be a receipt token that you can place in the boardrooms, and that being the only way, and so that you're always increasing your bag at the same time that you could potentially benefit from the Cinorge or the expansions of Walrus whenever it is over peg.
Wrong Lever said Equinox share coin went from like 15 to 50 after they launched Equinox. How much better price improvement or price movement do you expect?
So I mean, we're accruing a massive amount of Walrus share right now via the Treasury. If Glacier is as big as I expect it to be, I think that we could see a quite a large move because there just won't be enough in the market. There just won't be enough Walrus share to meet the demand of people wanting to get into the new pool. And remember, it's an 80-20 pool, so 80% is going to be Walrus share. And that is going to be a lot more than a 50-50 pool would provide. So you're going to have a lot more Walrus share in there. So there's going to be a lot more taken off the market, even just doing LP. So it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be playing out very interesting, and I'm excited to see it. But I don't know. But if people do buy, like Owen said, the price will indeed go up.
Eventually, will we have an X Walrus one-click converter similar to Grape's X Grape converter?
Like a zap in almost. I mean, I guess the X Walrus mint page is kind of technically already like that. And remember, we're doing a giveaway for a massive amount of Walrus share. Speaking of Walrus share, at 50% of total Walrus converted. We're closing in 2% left. Well, a little bit less than 2%.
Pompa said, if I did a sick revamp on the stream graphics, how would you feel about it? I'd be willing to make some.
Sure. Just know that I'm very picky with my graphics. This one, the one that I currently have on the stream, is actually pretty low tier, all things considered. So I would be more than happy to take on a new one. So I'm not stuck to this one at all. It's just the one that I found, and I really wanted the synthwave aesthetic. But if you produce something that could be more professional, of course I would use it, Tampa.
I just saw the. I just saw that. That's crazy.
Isn't that good?
That's crazy. We got Pumpkinhead Walrus. All right, let me check the YouTube chat real quick. I noticed on the new website the nodes were not displaying proper amount of paid and remaining from David Winter.
I'll have to write that down and look for myself. Could you give me a more descriptive approach as to what the actual issue is there?
Got it. Hold Sauce wants to know, I'm still 10K spread across X Walrus and W Share USDCE pools. If I'm trying to get to 10K a month in passive income, how many whack do I need to scoop?
If you want $10,000, a lot, probably more than Walrus Anglers Club could probably provide you. You would have to spend a large quantity of money. I think right now our monthly is like 30,000, so you'd have to have at least 30% of the supply of Walrus Anglers Club.
I wonder if he means in addition to the 10K he's got in X Walrus and W Share.
Yeah, I mean it's vague for me because I don't 10K a month is a lot. You would have to. I'm sure there's some math you could reconvert it with our current APRs, but that's huge.
Be a lot. All right. Let me see here. If I was going to tip the devs so they could take a flight, what would the wallet address be?
Yeah, I mean, eventually we'll get there, guys. I'm not too stressed about it right now. I'm enjoying my time being this grassroots kind of approach, and I'm sure that I'll be taking flights eventually to come meet you guys and going to events and stuff with my fiance. And speaking of that, in not flights, I'm not taking a flight, but on November 11th through the 13th, I will be going to Chicago, Illinois. Me and my fiance are going to have a trip with just me and her. So I will be offline for 3 days. And I think we'll be doing our Ask Me Anything a day earlier, probably on Thursday. So just guys, be ready for that. I will be unavailable November 11th through the 13th in Chicago. So, man, that's crazy. We already are 55 minutes over the 1,000. People are really wanting some. Also, I am offering some OTC deals because at the end of the day, we actually end up getting more money for the discounts I give on the OTC deals via the NFTs if you just minted them out because of the Walrus share buying aspect. So if people want to, on a case by case basis, I will do some OTC for the NFTs. So if you have any interested parties, I have like 2 or 3 people that are currently talking about making investments. And at the end of the day, that gives us more buying power. So I'm okay with it. So.
How much minimum for OTC?
I mean, it's not one of those big things. I'm not too geared up on the amount. Something like 10, 20, 30 or plus, would be fine for an OTC. It's not like you can just go dump it. So it's a little bit different on the OTC aspect. But if you are looking to make a big purchase, get with me.
Would 30 NFTs apply for an OTC?
Yes. You can just message me, CryptoCraft. I won't accept dog coins, but I will accept magic. No, I'm kidding. I can't accept magic. I got to make sure we have buying power.
Magic is a dog.
I know that was the joke.
You're a joke. Got his ass for you, Owen. Don't worry.
Fact.
All right. Anybody got any more questions?
Yeah.
Austin, do you got any more news?
What's your questions, guys? Let me see. Yeah. Again, if you are interested in the VC funding round, let me know. We have a pretty good idea of what it's going to entail. Owen's done amazing at working out some of the tokenomic structures and how to present it in information that is like a little bit more hard structured so that you can see your potential risk versus reward. I'm very happy with it, and I'm ready to speak about it to individuals that are interested.
So 25K or more, and you've got the pitch deck up, right?
Yeah, just not in graphic format, but I'm pretty confident both me and Owen can speak to anybody about like what your investment would be used for and what you could see as return. Some not so savvy said, "How have any projects reached out to be listed on Glacier?" No, not yet, but we really haven't advertised too much of it. Even the docs aren't out, so we're really in the early stages. We plan on using some of the VC funding for a big marketing to start getting some brand recognition. Yes, Saint, there is future marketing plans for Walrus Anglers Club. Again, I really want to get on and ask me anything with hydro wells, and I'm still pushing for that. But we have some funds in the back end that we can be using for YouTube and stuff like that. I just had to find the appropriate people to actually do it. James Pelton was a really good one. Yabonks was a really good one. I want to find some other quality. And Dow King was a good one. It started off our mint, so.
You guys have any suggestions on that? Let us know as well. As far as like influencers and whatnot.
Wrong lever. I don't know if I could do that. What are your views on Elon buying Twitter? It's not my wheelhouse. I don't really give a shit. Elon is a non-event to me. I don't understand why people follow what a wealthy businessman does. It's literally it affects me none because I don't use Twitter, so maybe I can't speak about it. That's true. Owen, the world does need dick riders. I don't really get it.
Cryptonaires. Do you know who they are? Hold Sauce says tons of
Yeah,
people know.
CryptoNet is huge. I tried getting an initial AMA about Walrus and Narwhal's launch, but we had some like difficulties in communication, whether it be on my end or theirs, and it just didn't work out. Potentially, I could speak again to them about some Ask Me Anythings. They were asking me questions, and I thought that I had answered the ones that they wanted, but it looked like we couldn't get any forward movement on it. So, and then everything happened with Narwhal and Walrus and the ecosystem at large, so it just didn't work out.
Hey, how many one of one hidden in 10,000 NFTs?
I mean, technically all of them are one of one. Are you saying with like zero traits? I'd have to go check. Zero traits shared by other people.
Right.
I would have to go check.
What's the status on getting the AVAX validator?
We don't have any money. The treasury's broke.
I said maybe after Glacier.
Uh,
John
yeah.
Teeter, he's always coming through with a heater for a question. Dex tokens are always super inflationary. AEQ is an amazing Dex, but it is tanked, and VCs are currently wrecked. How will you guys keep the VC investors' investments safe?
Yeah, so I guess it's really more for the VCs to ask us so that we can tell them our personal pitch and how we think that it will benefit you all no matter what the condition of Glacier is. And we've really geared it, but that's really a conversation that I would have with individual VCs. But the token for Glacier itself, some of the things that we're doing differently is by having these alpha and delta Glacier delegation pools that are built differently in the staking. One's being almost like a single stake and the other one being a little bit more cash. involved being the 60/40 pool. Both of these are working in tandem with each other for how we're offering VCs returns. And it also benefits everybody not to be dumping the token constantly. Also, plus added utilities and features for Glacier. And I know that's a buzzword, but we actually do want to launch with actual things that people want to use their Glacier tokens for inside the ecosystem. But yeah, it's one of those conversations that those are one of the big topics that we talk to VC investors, or we will talk to VC investors about. So yeah.
All right. And Venom meant on those one of one hidden. Let me see here. I think he meant the rank. The ranking.
I'll get before. How about this? Well, during the reveal or after the reveal, I'll start getting traits out for like how much of each trait there is, and then we can start discussing rarities and stuff like that. And the rarest ones from what I've seen is going to be the zombies and the yetis. There's a couple zombies and a couple yetis, and then there may be like one or two extra like super unique ones.
It's number 4, Yeti. Do any of them look like Top Gun Hatch?
No, I don't think any of them look like Top Gun Hatch. But yeah, guys, I won't bore you with anything else. I think that's mainly the majority of what I wanted to talk about. Again, if you haven't seen the website, I urge you to go check it out. It's beautiful. We just got our merch store. I'll put hopefully if Taz is still in here, maybe he can go ahead and add it, add a shop link that we can use, and I'll add it to the DeFi products page, or maybe I'll just add it to the top. But regardless, we will add that in very soon. So if you want to purchase something, go ahead, give your significant other something that they can scoff at and say, why are you investing in the things with walruses on them? I know that's what my fiance would say. So good luck to you all. And yeah, be excited for the reveal tomorrow. I'll probably go ahead and set a timeline, and we'll set an event, and then I'll announce it tonight. And then expect the reveal to happen after that. Now, obviously, there's metadata refreshing that needs to be done. So it may take over 2 or 3 hours for all the metadata to cache correctly. But we'll see some more. We'll see some Walrus Anglers Clubs tomorrow. So if you have a Walrus Anglers Club, excellent. If you don't, maybe you should mint one. But obviously, read about it first. But yeah, there's unisex beanies, by the way, Saint. And there's mouse pads with my face on it. So all you all that wanted that, maybe we'll make a shirt with my face on it. A super exclusive 50 of 50.
Austin. Who had the best question? We had some good ones tonight.
Do you have a list of the questions, or you didn't take them today?
Bruh. Yes.
Where they at?
I've got to find them.
What the fuck?
I was going to put it in previous AMAs, but it was a character limit thing, so now I've got to search where they save to. I'm just gonna have to go to this PC and do. Aha! Got it. Let's do one of these, and then we'll save to the desktop, and we'll save there. Upload from the desktop. Test Talk 26, uploaded in previous AMAs. Questions are at the bottom.
Let me check it out. And while I'm checking it out, again, thank you all for supporting Frozen Walrus and always being involved and being in these Ask Me Anythings and being interested and engaged. I really appreciate it. And, I don't take it for granted. And I hope you guys know that. Very soon, just my spot here in DeFi is being more and more solidified by the day, by each move I make that's more it has more integrity involved than the last one, and I'm blessed to do it, and I appreciate it deeply. And so thank you all for giving me this opportunity and investing in my products and what I do. But past that, I hope everybody is keeping a reminder to themselves to do something positive every day and be good people. If you're a Frozen Walrus investor, I hope that you're good people. You're following somebody that tries to hold to that mold, and so yeah, hopefully we can. I really actually want to do a charity stream very soon, and raise some big money for some good charities. It would be awesome to do that. It just takes a lot of time that I don't have right now, but I would like to. So again, walk an old lady across the street, get some consent, touch grass, take time off of DeFi. Even myself has to take that to heart sometimes. But let's see, who do we have? Going through it now. Let's see. I got to give it to. He always asks a lot of good questions. I know he's working his ass off and he hasn't won in a while, so I'll give it to him. Not so savvy. With the question of if your son was at age and he gets into crypto, what would your advice to him be? I think that's a good question, and I don't get asked a lot of questions like that, so I like that kind of stuff.
As far as Walter's assistant goes this week, we're just gonna promote another Divine. They're constantly in the chat. They're helping out. They're making conversations, doing a great job. Our chiropractor friend, the Kiro, congratulations, Walter's
For sure.
assistant. Shoot me a DM. The Kiro and Cairo and Not So Savvy. Guys, shoot me a DM, and I don't know if Notorious McG is in here or not, but he needs to DM me too. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Hold on. We got a late question from 72 Crybaby. Will we be able to put our WAC NFT in the upcoming Hydra Wells project, Ocean Money's Vault?
I don't know anything about that, so I'd have to read up on it and talk to the team. So that's a question that we may be able to answer next week. I'll check it out this week. But with that, guys, have an excellent weekend. Spend time with some family, do something fun, and we'll pick back up next week. And if you're excited about the Walrus English Club reveal, be here tomorrow, and let's have a good reveal. Let's see.
Have a safe Halloween weekend, you bunch of fucking degenerates.
Is it Halloween this weekend?
Monday is, bro.
Oh shit.
Why you don't know that? You got like kids.
Nonsense. Me? I have kids?
Got a couple.
Turn it up, Walter. Play us out. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will talk to you all again soon.
Night, guys. Everybody have a good night. Safe weekend, and we'll see you later.